Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
The 5 questions you need to answer in order for you to create your personal brand strategy. Now, it is without a doubt that we all know that people buy from people. And I think this adage or this statement is so ubiquitous with business that we don't even know who actually uttered these famous words. So I'm just going to say it was Albert Einstein who said that people buy from other people. And, since it's so genius, and he's had so many other statements attributed to him, we're going to give it to him, that one. But the truth of the matter is, no matter who say these words that people buy from people, these words hit a fundamental truth. All right. And that's why successful founders have their own personal brands. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why we really need to create and strengthen our own personal brand. Now, as a coach, consultant, or small business owner, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, my business already has a brand in and of itself. Why do I need to show up? People don't care about myself, or they don't care about, where my origin story or something like that. Let me tell you something. If you dismiss the idea of a personal brand, especially in this era of Web 3.0, it is an era that would actually leave you in peril if you're a coach or consultant that wants to be competitive in this day and age, okay? This is because personal branding actually plays a crucial role to your success. Whether you're aware of it or not, everyone actually now has a personal brand or an image that actually affects the way others see or think about you as a business. And I think it was Mr. Bezos, Jeff Bezos. That was way before he went into space. Well, if that's what you call space. But yeah, from business person to self-proclaimed astronaut, Jeff Bezos mentioned at some point that your personal brand is what people say when you're not in the room. So who do people say you are? Okay, so it's been proven time and time again that customers actually prefer to buy from businesses where they know something about the founder. And, like we've mentioned Amazon as an example, or Apple, they prove this theory. If I mention Apple, we all know Steve Jobs. If I mention Amazon, we all know Jeff Bezos. If I mention Tesla, we all know, Elon Musk. So that's why we know that, people are always going to be behind these companies just simply because they're in awe of the founder, because they've created a personal brand that people can, relate to. So you might be asking yourself, what is actual personal branding? Do you have to go around, plastering your face everywhere like it's a logo or something of that nature? Well, let me tell you something. Or maybe let me start with what personal branding, the definition first is, all right? Because as far as we are concerned, a brand is basically a promise, all right? So when you have a brand, it's a promise that you will, that you're making, that you want to be known for keeping to the person who you're seeking to try and influence or make a difference to. Okay, as human beings, we actually decide at an emotional level, but we justify logically. Okay, if we like you, if we trust you, we're still gonna make logical decisions, whether we want to do business with you or not. And that's where your personal brand will then create that last mile and help people make a decision on whether you're going to be working with you or not. And I can understand as a coach or consultant, growing your business is tough. All right. You're cold calling potential clients and you're having them hang up in your face. That's simply because they don't know who you are and you haven't presented who you are to them before you are peddling your product. You're sending out hundreds of emails without getting as much as a thank you for reaching out. That's simply because they don't recognize your name. They don't know who you are to them and what it is that you're going to be doing for them. What does your name represent? What does it mean when you brand yourself? Does it mean your name is synonymous with quality, with excellence, with responsiveness, with teamwork, with innovation, with leadership? Do you encourage people's dreams? Do you justify their failures? Do you confirm their suspicions? Do you actually know who your target market is? All right. So if you've got a good personal brand, people are willing to pay you more for your product or your service, and they argue less because they've seen your track record and they're not going to question any of what it is that you're going to be providing for them. So what does it actually mean when you brand yourself? Because branding yourself means you're developing your professional identity to align with your values, to people actually know what it is that you stand for. Because a personal brand statement will always begin with what you value and what it is that you stand for and what you stand against. Even though you don't imply it, but it has to be out there in order for people to know whether they can work with you or not. Okay, and if you want to be truly recognized as a thought leader or an authority in your field, you definitely have to stand for something, or you are going to fall for just about anything. So a lot of us are wasting thousands of dollars on ad spend without actually generating qualified leads, and sometimes it just feels like no one wants to buy what you're selling. And when you really put your heart and soul into your business, and you're relying on your business to actually pay rent and put food on your table, it can put an enormous strain on your emotions, and you're terrified to even up to a point of where you want to give up on your dreams, and you start returning to a safe 9 to 5 job with your tail tucked between your legs if you can't bring in any new clients. It is because, like I said earlier on, it's been proven time and time again, customers prefer to buy from businesses where they know something about the founder. What is it that people know about you? Even the influencers, the people on Instagram that are just showing up in your news feed, either naked or half naked or whatever. Influencer marketing is also proving this theory. A lot of these people are being followed just simply because of who they are. Kim Kardashian is famous for just being famous. That's a personal brand that has been well produced, and she's now capitalizing on that. So you, as a coach, consultant, or small business owner, whether you're marketing to B2B or B2C space, you are no exception. All right. So you gotta answer these 5 questions, in order for you to get your personal brand started. And when you create a personal brand, it means that you get visible in front of your ideal customers. And this actually requires for you to create a strategy so that you can take the right steps in order to attract right visibility to your brand. And these 5 questions that I have put through will help you understand how to actually craft your personal brand strategy for the better, because you can't just spray and pray. This is your livelihood that we're talking about. The brand of your business you could always ditch if it doesn't work well, but this is your own person, and if you do it wrong, guess what? Everything that we do is etched in stone on the internet. All right. So my question to you now is, who are you? Who are you? You need to be 100% clear on who you are on all the things that you put out on the internet. Like I said, The internet is written in stone. So on your social media profiles and on your website, this actually means clearly articulating, first of all, your area of expertise and who you help, and providing social proof about the results that you can get for your customers, because people don't have time to go snooping around and searching for things that are not available. So you want to use a lot of case studies that will always be one of the hard working pieces of content that you can put out there that clearly articulate what it is that you help, who you help, and how you can get results for them. And you want to have to, if you're not quite clear on how to do this, ask every client you work with for either a case study or what it is that they decided to work with you for, or the reason that made them want to work with you. Because if people don't know who you are, it will be very difficult for anyone to want to do business with you. All right. You see, I'm the founder of Live Long Digital, where we help coaches and consultants to explode in growth using digital marketing strategies. And I want to testify and say, at the end of this podcast, you might have received 15 different emails of people wanting to work with your SEO, wanting to work with your social media, or people wanting to, tweak your website or something of that nature. And the way I differentiate myself is by showing up on a podcast like this. Not so many people in my industry, at this time, are taking this route of actually educating their audience on what to expect when it comes to digital marketing. So that's why I'm very passionate about helping coaches and consultants and small business owners to grow their business, because I actually know what it means to come from nothing. You see, I was born in a small town in Zimbabwe in Africa, where growing up, life was pretty tough. I didn't have a lot of money or hope, and I didn't even think I was going to amount to anything, because we did not have anyone to look up to or any role models to inspire me to expand my horizons. But my life literally changed when a bright-eyed Australian teacher came to work at my school, and she taught me all about Australia and all the incredible opportunities that it had to offer. What she taught me is what I now took to become my yardstick or my anchor point or my reference point to what I've now created, in my whole livelihood moving forward. So you see, what I'm saying now is people don't necessarily want to know much about SEO or anything. They want to know how and why I am so passionate about helping other people is because things like this happen to me as well, and I just want to now pay back. And that's the reason why I'm showing up every single day, just so that you have a role model, just so that you have a reference point, just so you have the content and information that will help you do and have a happier existence, and eventually a business that's profitable and enjoyable. So what do you want people to know you for? I want to be known for being the person that is helping people go from point A to point B without losing time, money, and effort, especially in the digital marketing space. I want to help you make sense of the world around you. What is it that you want to be known for? All right. So yes, I know you started your business because you wanted to make money, and you definitely need to make money in order for you to stay in business. But for most coaches and consultants, I know they started their business just so they can make an impact in people's lives. Like I said, I had this bright-eyed teacher that showed up at my school when I was 13 years old, and unbeknownst to her, I then used her as a role model, for wanting more and becoming more like I have become, and that's the impact that I want to make, because I want other kids to also have a role model, the ones that don't have anything to look forward to. This means that you need to know what you want to be known for, other than just a business that's profitable and that you're making money off of. For example, like I said, I'm a digital marketer who helps coaches and consultants get more visibility and identify their target market and clarify their message using digital marketing tools. And I usually use a tagline that I take you from world's best kept secret to be a thought leader within your industry. So decide what you want to be known for and then share that decision far and wide. If you look at our social media, or if you look at my website, you would notice that I just jumped on a plane to Melbourne with nothing but a backpack full of hopes and dreams, simply because of the teacher that came and showed up, at my doorstep at that tender age. All right. I've even been on TV with that message. And I've even spoken about this. I've written many blogs, and that's my story. All right. So I know that my target audience is looking for a way for them to get information and pass on their consulting, their training, or their expertise, and they're looking for ways, to grow their business. And that's the people that I'm working with. All right. So you need to identify who your ideal audience is, the people that you're going to be serving. Who actually needs your information right now? Who is already buying these products and services from other people that are doing the same thing that you're doing there? And who can you create information for? All right. What you need to do is figure out what is it that you're actually embarrassed or struggling with right this moment, and what are you doing about it? That's the kind of person that you can create information for, and that's the content that you can create for those people that are looking for exactly what it is that you have figured out. All right, because your life story and your experience is what differentiates you from the Me Too industries that we're working with right now. Anybody who's a coach can go and do NLP, that can do any of the other modalities, but no one has your story. So you need to identify the people that will be resonating with that story, and then make sure you are capturing them as leads and nurturing them up until they become your customers. All right. Even though over time you will refine your ideal audience, but it's always a good idea to go into your personal brand journey with an idea of who you're actually speaking to. All right. And if you think you're speaking to everyone, you're actually speaking to no one. All right. So if you understand what your audience is going through right now, it makes it super, super easy for you, to be going, to be speaking to them, because people will only listen to marketing that is directed at them. All right. So even on social media or on the internet, there are groups that are a great way, or where your people are already congregating. And this is a great way for you to discover who your ideal audience is and what their challenges are, because people are already speaking about this and they're already talking about this somewhere. You just need to find who they are and understand them, and literally create information that will help them by actually helping them. All right. So, for example, in work, I've discovered that often my ideal audience of coaches, consultants, founders know exactly how much digital marketing can help their business, but they don't believe that digital marketing actually or the people or their audience actually want to hear from them or hear their story. So therefore I share a lot of this information, demystifying this belief. I share exactly my origin story and how the actual media works, and the fact that journalists, reporters, bloggers want and need to hear from solo entrepreneurs, and this content actually resonates with the coaches and consultants and service business owners that I then tend to work with. Okay, because each and every one of us has a story. Each and every one of us has values that are unique only to themselves. All right, and the way that we present our work and the way that we get results for our customers is our own proprietary advantage. That's what we need to be letting the whole world know. You know what I mean? Because everything counts. Everything that you do either creates or builds your brand, or weakens your brand. So whatever results that you get, or whether you're winning at anything else, shout it at the top of your lungs so that people can understand what it takes and what you're creating, so that they know that they're part of the journey. All right. So along building your brand, you need to showcase your results. Okay, what results does your product or service deliver to your audience? Because this is what also people are searching for. Okay, they don't care about your passion or what it is that you serve or the alphabet soup that comes at the end of your LinkedIn profile name or something like that. People need to understand quickly what they will receive by working with you. All right. Don't ever think that you're the only person that they're looking at any given moment. Don't ever think you're the only thing that is getting their attention at any given moment. All right. So if people are listening to this podcast, they're probably driving or they are running or on their way to school or anything of that nature. That's why we cap this podcast at like 30 minutes, because anything longer than that, then we lose people's attention. Anything shorter, then we can't really express what it is that we want people to know. So you need to get people to quickly understand what it is that they'll receive by working with you. And let me get back to my consultancy as an example again. I really make it clear that when people work with me, they will either land high ticket clients or high quality media coverage, either on podcast or print media, all of those things, because we work super hard in order to put our clients' messages out there in the open. So there's a business coach that I work with that has a clear message that the clients who work with him will free up much of their time and increase their revenue by at least 50%. All right. Another client I work with helps people identify their strengths and work with them. And the result is a personal and professional life that flows much easier because that's what a lot of people are looking for out there. So you want to tell your ideal client how your product or service gets them from where they are now to where they want to be. And doing this builds an exceptionally strong personal brand, because you're probably the only person that can help them achieve those results. You see, I keep alluding to my story of how I came from Zimbabwe and I met a teacher that changed the course of my life, right? Because people connect with stories, right? You might have had a chance incident or opportunity where somebody you might not have thought changed the course of your life. Okay, take it from a digital marketer or somebody who works with publicity and every other human on the planet. No one wants to hear that you've got a passion for what you do. However, you will encounter a lot of attention being paid to a story of why you set up your business in the first place. All right. This helps people to understand how they can work with you, and they feel reassured that you will be the right consultant or supplier to work with them. All right. Like I always say, when I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money and hope. And, we didn't have any role models. So that's the reason why I want to work with coaches and consultants, because they too can be role models for other people out there. All right. And this helps people understand how they can then work with me, and they feel reassured that I'm the right person who's got the right results for them. And I understand what it means to come from the bottom. I wasn't spoon fed to get to where I am. And I'm not going to lie, it is always tough. When you're far away from your family, from your friends, and I even struggle to get regular work and pay my bills. And this might be what you're going through right now. So you would understand, and my message would sink in with you, because I wasn't born this way. I wasn't born with these expensive watches. I wasn't born with this expensive lifestyle. All right. So if you're going to be putting your message out there, make people connect with you and make connections with people, because these are the people that are going to be paying you eventually. All right. You're not trying to put your word out there so that the algorithms can pick it up. No, you want people to talk about you at the barbecues. So a personal brand is really about connecting with your target audience and actually clarifying your message, and then determining what is the best media for you to reach out to this audience with. And to do that, You're going to need to represent yourself honestly and consistently, because whatever you're going to say about yourself will be etched in perpetuity in the internet, because the internet does not forget. All right, so if you use these 5 questions that I just put across to you, and maybe make a brief list of who you want to be known as and how you're going to be helping your audience be, do, and have a happier existence, I guarantee you, you will definitely, reach out to an audience that really wants to hear from you, and people that want to work with you. And don't forget that you have to constantly be showing up in front of your audience for this story and this personal brand to resonate. Okay, it's not just a one hate thing. You can never be a one click wonder or put out one video and hope that people already know who you are and trust what it is that you're putting out there, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, no matter how much of your posts or ads you're putting out there. If people cannot resonate with you, it will be difficult for them to resonate with you. So once you've got all of this in place, be visible. To be effective, your personal brand must be seen repeatedly and consistently. All right. And when you form a brand, in a way, you're getting into the show business. All right. You're now competing with Oprah, with Kim Kardashian, and with Elon Musk and anybody else that's out there. Okay. You're not out there talking to people, networking or getting involved. It doesn't do you any good. All right, so you've created this. You need to be telling as many people your story as much as possible. You see, I wake up and sit down and tell my story on this podcast, and I etch this I freeze moments while each and every day I'm building my personal brand. The more people hear me and connect with me and hear my story, then obviously they would want to do business with me because they feel like they know me. So you want to be out there, get people to see you all the time, get people to listen to you, get people to watch you, get people to read you, get people to consume your content. And very often, people will hire you, buy from you, or recommend you for no other reason than the very fact that you're seen around a lot. Okay. And if you are going to be consistent and persistent, guess what? You will build goodwill to others. All right, the more you are perceived as well-intentioned or embodied the valued ideals, or just showing up, people will know that you're not a one-click wonder, and you become reliable, and the more influential your brand becomes. Okay, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things that maybe 3 or 4 years from now, if you're going to be doing a study on you and come back with a report on the kind of person that you were, or who you've been, or the way you were treating other people, or how people talked about you, your reputation, your position in the hearts and minds of others, what words are people going to be using to describe you? All right, that's what you need to start working on right now. Okay, and also you need to have a clear definition of what a personal brand actually means to you. Okay, I want you to ask yourself this: what word should people use to describe your superb brand? Okay, start working on that. All right, what could you do differently from now so that people would think of you for all this time? There's some people that we know that died almost 500 years ago. There's people that died 5 years ago. We know of Michael Jackson. We know of Tupac. He's always releasing new songs, but he died ages ago. Right? Remember, a brand is a promise that you make. All right? It's saying that if you interact with me, or get involved with me, or buy from me, or sell with me, or go out with me, and so on, it's the kind of person that you're going to get. What are you telling people to expect? All right? What are you telling people to rest assured or guarantee that if they work with you, you will keep your brand promise? All right. And I know it's hard to develop a reputation for always doing what you say you're going to do, but no matter what, the answer is yes. I will do this for you. Okay. So, what difference are you putting out there? And, one other thing is when people hear your name or hear about your brand, what words do you want them to think about? Okay. And you want to be curious. About what these people are saying. Like what I said earlier on, Jeff Bezos said, "You are what people say when you're not around." So you want to be making sure that you're curating your personal brand. It just makes it super easy for when you're out there in the marketplace, because if people know a little bit more about you, you are better compared than other people that are also in the same industry as yours. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au